Namaste viewers, welcome to Avinash Bio category. In the previous videos, in the previous class, we focused on the dihybrid cause, that is checkerboard analysis, as well as the blood grouping genetics. So in the blood grouping genetics, we concentrated on its genotyping point of view majorly. And now, let me focus on another major concept in genetics. Here usually before that one I would like to say that in the genetics we can easily categorize the total genetics, that inheritance pattern, into two categories. One is Mendelian inheritance, another one is a non-Mendelian inheritance. Non-Mendelian inheritance means those characters, their inheritance do not follow Mendelian laws, or else we can say that whatever the Mendel taught regarding the inheritance pattern, that pattern couldn't be managed or couldn't be obeyed by some characters, special characters in our body, in all organisms, in almost all organisms. Such kind of inheritance, that is also at most important as like a Mendelian inheritance. So here some such kind of inheritance if we consider, majorly we can see the pleiotropy and polygenic inheritance. So in 2 years back we got one question from this concept. Today let us focus on these two concepts. One is a polygenic inheritance and the other is pleiotropy. If we consider that first one, polygenic inheritance. The name itself indicates poly means many, genic means gene, inheritance, transferring of characters from generation to generation. What it suggests? Polygenic means many genes will help in inheritance of one character here, or in another sense we can say that many genes will control one character. Usually what is the assumption of Mendel? One character is controlled by one gene. He did not say it as a gene, he called it as a factor. One character controlled by one factor but available in alternative forms. He called them as alleles. But here many genes could control one character. So such kind of many examples we can see here. In our body if we consider, such kind of best examples are, if we consider the examples, so first one is human skin color. Human skin color is a best example for polygenic inheritance, and that same condition is given in our textbook also. And other condition if we consider, human height. Human height also considered to be inheritance pattern obeyed by that polygenic condition. And other thing if we consider, human eye color, eyeball color. Eyeball color also example for polygenic inheritance. And in the plants if we consider, so here kernel of wheat. Yes, wheat kernel inside edible part, and that is also example for polygenic inheritance. Or if we consider rose flower color, I am not saying only rose, almost majority of flowers are there here, and here famously I am considering this example, rose flower. Rose flowers, they are available in different varieties of colors. And even in our skin color also if we consider, we are not only present in two contrasting forms, black and white. So black and white in the sense, in the skin color, light skin as well as a dark skin if we consider. We are not able to see only those two colors. We are observing a range of colors. And all of these, and even in height also if we consider. So We cannot see the people only with two heights, that means tall and dark. We can see the people with medium height, we can see the people with intermediate height. So many ranges are there in the height. So that is also example for polygenic inheritance. Why it happens so means, if one gene controlling one particular character means, if that gene dominate, for controlling that character, if the dominant allele present means, so the character expressed well. If it is in the recessive form, allelic composition is in the recessive form means that the trait will not express. So either that condition or this condition, we can easily say. But in some characters, many genes are involved, more than 2, more than 3 genes are involved. At that time, the total trait, it is considered to be the quantitative inheritance. Say for example, if I consider the skin color only, human skin color, so I can call it as quantitative inheritance. So it follows quantitative inheritance pattern. Then the question will be arise, what is that quantitative inheritance? Inheritance means already we know. Quantitative in that sense, already in the first video only I explained. Quantitative means, so in that given genotypic condition, how many alleles are dominant? Either it may be 2 gene condition, either it may be 3 gene condition, either it may be quaternary genic condition. So in the given condition, how many genes are dominant allelic forms, then it decides it's a quantitative inheritance. So almost all these conditions will follow the quantitative inheritance, or sometimes we will refer it as cumulative inheritance. Yes, cumulative inheritance. Why it is cumulative means, it is a mixed form, it is a mixtural form. Just one example I would like to give you. If I take red color, if I take white color, and next if I take yellow color, right, white and yellow, we can easily distinguish all the colors separately. But if I mix all the colors together in one proportion, and I will get the skin color, whatever during at the time of painting, painters will use that color in that proportion only, in that mixture only. If I mix all the 3 colors together, I can get the pink. In the skin color I would like to get. In the skin color, I cannot separate where is that red, where is that yellow, where is that white, our previous colors, we cannot separate. And whatever the skin color we are getting, that is the additive factor, additive effect of all the 3 colors. Like that, here one character, it is expressed by many genes, and all the genes are additively compensating for that phenotype to be expressed. And because of that reason, we can consider it as a cumulative inheritance. Right? So in that sense, if I focus on this human skin color, so if I focus on this measure, why? Because in your competitive exam also, in this pattern, in this particular aspect, if they rise the question means they will rise majorly question on the skin color condition. So here, in the skin color, if I consider skin color, it is a majorly controlled by 3 genes. The number of genes controlling the skin color, 3 genes. Because of that, it is considered to be polygenic. Character is one, skin color, it is controlled by 3 genes. And let me consider those 3 genes are A, B and C. So 3 genes are present here, A, B, C. And here if I write A, B, C, and one more thing, all the 3 genes loci are different and all are present on different chromosomes. But thing is, all are in additive form, they are supporting one character. If I write these in the capital form is, already you know, these are dominant alleles and they may be in the recessive condition also. And here, when the alleles are in the dominant condition, so then it leads to the production of melanin. Melanin production. As already you know, the melanin, it is the pigment responsible for giving coloration to our skin. When a melanin quantity is more, skin becomes more and more dark. When melanin quantity is less, the skin color is light, or we will call it as the white person. So here melanin it is a pigment. Already you know this pigment is nothing but the protein in chemical composition. That protein is produced by A gene, B gene and C gene in additive form. And one more thing, so here on question will be arised. Of course A gene is dominant, B gene is also dominant, but C gene is recessive. Then what happens? Of course a melanin production is there, but its quantity is less. As already I told you, this is the additive inheritance. A gene is dominant, B and C are recessive, means of course then also melanin production is there, but quantity is less. And when a melanin quantity becomes lesser and lesser, the skin becomes more and more whiter. And when a melanin quantity production, its quantity is more, then skin becomes more and darker. So all it is depending on how many genes, how many alleles of these genes are dominant. So hence it is a quantitative inheritance. And now, so all these are dominant. If we consider recessive alleles, small a, small b, small c. So these are in the recessive condition, then no melanin production. And here, when a melanin production is there, we can consider it as dark skin or very dark when all the three alleles are dominant. And when there are no dominant alleles, when alleles are recessive in condition, then the skin becomes very light. Or for the light skin, we will generally call it as white skin. He is very bright, she is very bright. Bright in the sense light color, skin is very light. So light skin it is because of recessive allele condition, dark skin is because of dominant allele condition. And already we know allele it is not available in single form, it is available in a dual form. Two alleles will be present for one gene. Why? Because we are diploid organisms. So in that sense, if I consider, let me write a very dark person. One person is considered to be very dark, and another one is a light person. Light person in the sense he is not illuminating the light skin. So dark skin person and a light skin person if we consider. And here for the dark skin person, I will call him as Negro. Negro already you know, West Indies, Chris Gayle, Negro is Negro. So Negro skin color. And in the light skin person, I will call him as Caucasoid. Caucasoid means it is the one race in the human being where skin color is very light. For example, our Americans, light skin color, Caucasoids. So Negro and Caucasoid if we consider, Negro skin color is very dark. Why? Because whatever I have mentioned the dominant alleles, all are present in dominant condition, all the genes. And here genes are available in two allelic forms. Hence let me write capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B, capital C, capital C. 3 genes, 6 alleles, all the alleles are dominant. Hence skin color is very dark. And a light skin color if I consider, no allele is dominant. Hence small a, small a, small b, small b, small c, small c. All the 6 alleles are in the recessive condition. Hence because of that reason there is no production of melanin. Skin color becomes light or white. Now if we cross together, we will get the condition. From this pair, one allele. 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 Again from this pair, one allele. Capital A, small a, capital B, small b, capital C, small c. So this is heterozygous. Homozygous, homozygous. Homozygous dominant, homozygous recessive, and this is heterozygous. What is the color then? What is the color then? Dark or white? No, it is intermediate. but as according to Mendel, capital T tall, okay, small t dark. After crossing we will get capital T small t, that is not medium, that is tall. But here capital A small a, capital B small b, capital C small c, it cannot become a dark skin, it becomes intermediate. So let me write here, this is intermediate skin. Why intermediate means, as already I told you, this is the quantitative inheritance. Out of 6 alleles, 1, 2, 3. 3 alleles are dominant. Remaining 3 alleles are recessive. Because of that reason, it is intermediate. Neither too dark, neither too light. This is in between, intermediate. Because of that reason, I told you, it is the non-Mendelian inheritance. It will not follow that one. And the question will be arise, okay, if it is intermediate, after crossing such kind of two persons. So now let me consider this is P generation, parental generation. Let me call it as F1 generation. After crossing such kind of two F1 generation, F1 generation crossing F1 generation, what we are going to get right now. So let me write the same condition, capital A, capital B small b, capital C, cross capital A, capital B, capital C, small c. So now tell me, how many gametes are possible from this one? How many gametes? Total we are having 6 alleles. 6 alleles are present means how many gametes are possible here? Yes. 2 different alleles means we will get 2 different gametes. 4 different alleles combinations are present means we will get 4 different alleles. But here 6 alleles are, if we are having a 6 alleles different composition means we will get 8 different types of gametes. 8 different gametes. Right? Okay, let me write here. If I write which are those 8 different types of gametes, capital A, capital B, capital C. Now I have considered this parent. From this parent, how the 8 different types of gametes have been arised. Capital A, capital B, capital C. Next, capital A, capital B, small c. Right? That is also one composition. Next, capital A, small b, capital C. And next one, small a, capital B, capital C. What I have done here? Here 3, all the alleles are dominant. Here 2 dominant, 1 recessive. Here 2 dominant, 1 recessive. Just I am changing the letters here. And next one, capital A, small b, small c. Here 2 alleles are recessive. Next, small a, small b, capital C. And next one, small a, capital B and small c. That is also one composition. So how many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is the last one? All the 3 alleles are recessive. Small a, small b, small c. So we can get only 8 gametes compositions here. 8 into 8, 64. That means in the checkerboard we will get 64 boxes. And after drawing that box is not necessary for you, but concentrate on its ratio. And after that one, already I mentioned, this is quantitative inheritance. To find out the quantitative inheritance, in the first video itself I have given one formula. The formula to find out the quantitative inheritance. So here the formula is, to find out that one, (2n plus 1). This is the formula, 2n plus 1. Here n means number of genes for that character. Here how many genes are there? 3 genes are present here, not alleles, genes. Here of course allele also gene, but here let me consider those are 3 different genes. So 3 genes we have considered here. That means it becomes 2 into 3 plus 1, total 7. So 7 phenotypic conditions are possible here. See here, 7 types, 7 different types. And if I write, it's a quantitative inheritance ratio. And you can ask how many genotypes are possible then. So for that genotype also we are having one more formula. The formula is 3 raised to n. This formula is to find out the total number of possible genotypes. This formula is to find out the total number of possible phenotypes. Here 3 raised to n means, why I considered 3 here means, in a monohybrid cross we got 3 genotypes: capital T, small t, capital T, capital T, small t, small t. So hence basically I consider 3 raised to n. So here n means number of genes. That means I can consider it as 3 raised to 3 cube. So 3 cube means that becomes 27. So here 7 types of phenotypes we can get here. Total phenotypes are 7 and total 27 genotypes we can observe. Genotypes, possible genotypes are 27. And one more thing here. If I consider it's a ratio, if I draw the checkerboard, then I will come to know how the quantitative ratio we can write. But here, now I am writing it's a quantitative ratio. The quantitative ratio of this polygenic inheritance is 1:15:15:15. So this is the quantitative ratio of skin color or polygenic inheritance in a skin color. So afterwards let us consider what is that 1 and 6. So 1 plus 6 is 7. Let us consider from this 20 and 50, 57, 58 and plus 64. That means 64 boxes we will get. Why? Because this trihybrid cross. So this is the quantitative ratio here. And here already we know, if all the 6 alleles are dominant, very dark. If all the 6 alleles are recessive, very light skin. If 3 are dominant alleles, 3 are recessive alleles, means that is the intermediate. And we can get other composition also. Other composition means 6 alleles dominant. Next 5 alleles are dominant, 1 recessive. Next 4 alleles dominant, 2 recessive. 3 alleles are dominant, 3 recessive. Next 2 alleles dominant, 4 recessive. 1 allele dominant, 5 recessive. Next no alleles are dominant. So like that we can get different combinations here. And here this 1 stands for very dark. The skin color is very dark. And this 6 stands for the skin color is dark. Not very dark, this is dark. And this 15, this number indicates the number of offsprings with fairly dark. Fairly dark means, of course, skin is dark, but light component has been mixed here a little bit. And if I consider this one, so here this is intermediate. So this one, intermediate. And this 15 again, this indicates this is from this onwards we'll get the light skin. So this is fairly light. The skin is fairly light. And if I consider this 6, the skin is light. Light means we will refer it as white. And the last, that 1 stands for the skin is very light. Very light skin we will get. See, observe here. This is the intermediate form, right? Intermediate means 3 alleles are dominant, 3 alleles are recessive. 50-50% like that. So that is the in between here. And this side 1, 6, 15. That side 15, 6, 1. That side light skin. This side it becomes dark skin. As we go in this order, skin becomes dark and dark and dark. As we move in that order, the skin becomes light and light and very light. Also like that here. And here 1 plus 6, 7. 7 plus 15. How much? That is 22. and this side also 22. So let me consider from this one 22 and here 22 and center 20, 22, 20, 22, 22 darker side, that 22 lighter side. In between those are intermediates, neither too dark nor too light. So like that we can get. So one more thing, majorly you keep this ratio in your mind. So as we come in this order, it becomes dark and dark, more dark. As we go in that order, it becomes very light and light. And that is the intermediate one. So this is how we can predict the ratio, that how we can decide the polygenic inheritance. So majorly we have to consider here human skin color, and other examples also there. As the number of genes increases, number of possibility also increases, and the number of the ratio also increases, and we will get the many possibility conditions also there. So as in case of rose flower color, so possibilities, varieties are more. Why? Because controlling genes are more for that one character. I hope you have understood the concept. In the next video, let us consider other major concept in a genetics. Let me consider in the next video, let me focus on the T.H. Morgan experiment. That means linkage and recombination. In the next class, let us focus on linkage and recombination. Be prepared with that. Thank you.